publicity with taxpayer. Punitive damage to taxpayers are innocent. Concert versus city of Newton. Hmm. Interesting. I lost my motivation. But let's do this. Automatics like to push the weight around. Superset. I was about to hit back and be by myself. Hey, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Any absent Yarl. Do you think Israel conspired to have 9/11 take place? No. I would love to hear your take on it, though. Vance 2028. The more I look into him, though, it's a very interesting who he's connected to. But we're in the apocalypse anyway, so as the good book said, these things must take place, so fear not. I was out of state and busy for longer than anticipated. Right on. Yeah, I made a trip out of state too. It didn't go so well. I'm gonna rest here for a couple of minutes and then I'll hit that. Yeah, Vance is owned by Peter Thiel. Yeah, no, I mean, on paper I like Vance, but because I was curious about him because I didn't know much about him, and I started looking at who he was connected to and how he got named for vice president. And I was like, huh, these guys are all connected. It's very strange. Peter Thiel's a fucking weirdo. But this is the thing, though. This is what I tell people. Like, people think that someone's gonna magically get elected and fix everything. And by nature, our government is gridlocked, and for good reason. You don't want any ideology to come in there and be able to sweep legislation through that's going to take advantage of their opposition. So what do we see? We see a system that really doesn't do much to move the needle in either direction. I mean, right now we have as close to uh, a Republican dominance that we've had in my lifetime. I can't think of any time we've had that much representation, and they still can't get anything done. So all those executive orders. I'm not a big fan of executive orders because I don't think the president should be able to rule by decree. But you know, I always tell people it's like be careful what you wish for because the thing that you're rooting for will be used against you when the pendulum swings the other way, and it always does. Our gridlock's a good thing, but I don't know, man. It's a yeah. So nobody, no, we're not going to vote anyone who's going to fix anything. If anything, they're going to make it worse. Historically, that's the only thing that's ever happened is we've gotten worse over time. But there's been no period in our lives where our government has given us more freedom ever. And it hasn't provided more safety either. Well, I am a big fan of our military, but I'm not. Yeah, I like the technology, but there's some ideological issues with it. Where am I going with this? People can make the biggest difference where the laws are enforced on them. Your neighborhood, your local level. Participate in your local government. Go to the town hall meetings. Go to the school board. My wife, my wife actually went to I think the commissioner, and told them that kids were going to get killed out here because people were speeding. And 3 days later, they had a cop, and I know because he pulled me over. He laughed at me when he said, "Where do you live?" I go, "Right over there." And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, but we do that. We actually participate, and that's where you can do the most good. You do the most good with your family, and then your neighborhood and your local government, because there's nobody in Washington D.C. that knows anything about you or gives a fuck about you. You're basically a tax cow. Our job, our gear, our reason for existing is to produce so that the government can spend. That's all we're good for. But at your local level, that's where you can affect real change, if any. These people that are out there protesting, they're fucking morons, useful idiots. What are you fucking protesting for? You're blocking traffic, stupid. You're impeding my fucking right to move, and I should be able to run you over. It's dumbass. They protests do nothing. I mean, yeah, they do move the needle in that if enough people cause enough damage over time, pussies that have no balls will change legislation when what they should do is call the fucking National Guard up and go out there and murder them all. I don't see wanton destruction of property and trying to harm other people as being productive, but I mean, the people that scream the loudest get the most attention. My truck has a beeper, nice. How long does it take to bench press 45 pounds? I don't know, Negan. For me, I'm trying to think of a smart ass answer for that. Hey, my wife's in the chat. How long did it take you to bench press 45 pounds, babe? I'll ask my wife, who weighs 135 pounds, how long it took her to be able to bench 45 pounds. I'm going to say it was pretty much immediately. We need more people like you that know what they're talking about. I would never say that, Arthur, but I mean, who fucking has geopolitics as a hobby? It's like the old curmudgeon that lives in his house and he owns an arsenal and he's like, "Come and take him off my cold dead hands, motherfucker." I mean, meanwhile, Grandpa's like, he's got a subscription to fucking Soldier of Fortune and the motherfucker's riding around in a mobility scooter. Like, hey, maybe you should be able to leap over the couch if you have to. I don't know. I got an automatic weapon. Where's it at? It's in the closet. Well, how are you going to get to it? RBC Group is 1994 C300. C300. Oh, your truck. Okay. Overturning Roe versus Wade was the most blatant political gender ruling ever. Roe versus Wade was anti-constitutional to begin with, and if anybody was able to do a modicum of fucking research and actually look into it and see the actuality of that anti-constitutional bullshit, they would have known that it was a falsity to begin with. And she even admitted it on camera. They had But no, you can show people evidence of something and say, look, there's direct evidence that this is not right. And they still won't fucking listen. They're like, whoa, they're taking my rights as a woman. Really? What rights are being taken from you? What it did is it removed the federal fucking government, which the Constitution is supposed to prevent in the first place, from making laws that legislate over the states, which is anti-constitutional. And it returns those rights to the states as they're supposed to be, so now the states can rule for or against abortion. That's how the Constitution's supposed to work. You can have an anti-gun state, and you can challenge it in a court of law, which can then go to the Supreme Court. If you don't like a law, you challenge it. You don't want the fucking government to fucking rule the states by decree, and I've tried to explain this to people. Take a goddamn government class and learn how the Constitution's supposed to work. And then maybe, that and read the Gulag Archipelago. I think that should be a required reading. We should teach the constitutional law, government, civics, I guess you could say, and we should also have required reading anti-collectivism, socialism, and communism. We should learn history on both sides of those. You just got a feeling you work your upper body, Jonathan. Fuck no, man. Picking your mom up? Are you serious? Are you getting her up that flight of stairs? Yeah. That's a fucking leg workout, brother. Zygotes have a unique genetic composition. 10th Amendment. Yes. Your shoulders are looking massive. That's camera angle. Here we go. Camera angle and lighting. It's all lies. Oh, I'm Wes Watson. I get the... There you go. Get the head back here. That's Wes Watson, right? My legs are tiny. But I weigh 200 pounds and I can squat over 3 times my body weight. So if you can't do that, I don't want to hear shit about legs. And yes, that's over 600 pounds. Actually, say what you want. I mean, they're kind of fucking little. I had bicep surgery, so I lost 30 pounds, and I haven't really been training the last couple of months. So I'm trying to start to get back into it. So I got this trap bar, which is bicep friendly, and since it's got a 4-inch advantage on the handles over a regular deadlift bar, I put this dunnage down so that it takes away that advantage. It's a 70-pound bar, so that's a 350, 330, 340. I don't want to slam it on the ground because I don't want to shock the bicep. So I'm just slowly kissing the ground. So far, so good. As long as you keep your arms straight, you're not putting any load on your biceps. But what tends to happen when people use supinated grip is they hitch it a little, and that's what I started doing. Apparently. Back in March, I had 720 pounds on this thing, and I did it for 2 reps. Grit and Grace, the Flaming Florist. I like it. Middle East, what profound wisdom do you have? Look at your picture, don't talk to me. Okay, that's part of a different conversation. So I did bench. I'm going to do, this is the most I've attempted to deadlift since surgery. Jesus loves you. We got a robot, Joseph. Gen X has no power. Ethan. Oh, come back for that. Like, apathy. If you don't have a picture and I can't see you, it's hard to give a shit. I used to say deadlifts, Crystal, but I think squats are the better exercise. No disrespect here for me. What sports did I play? Let me see. Football, hockey, basketball. Basketball's I played at a collegiate level. Uh, I don't know if you consider martial arts a sport. Like taekwondo, kickboxing, boxing, and now Muay Thai. Anything else? No. Can't think of anything. Rollerblading. I don't know. Daz decamp. Wait, not having a picture of some kind of sign on here. No, no. I'm just saying if you're gonna talk shit about somebody, and I can't see what you look like, chances are, most of the people that talk shit about me, yeah, probably shouldn't. And I don't mind. I don't care. That's a lot. Are you a towel walking into a shower, gay or nah? That's a lot. How do you diagram that sentence? Reading the 14th Amendment, you'd understand how the ruling was constitutional, having an abortion without the government. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you my personal beliefs. Fuck your abortion. And don't use outlier cases to fucking say, what about rape or incest? When that's like not even a fucking percentage of a decimal point. Most women use it for birth control, and I believe in life. I was adopted as a baby. And yeah, that's my personal stance. Now, that doesn't mean I should make policy or that's what the law should be. That's my personal view. I am not a progressive and I'm not a liberal. I wouldn't call myself a conservative either, but yeah, I'm anti-abortion. I think it's a goddamn satanic offering to what's that demon's name? The one in the Old Testament that the Jews were worshiping before he came down with the tablets, Ten Commandments. Baal? Moloch. Thank you, Crystal. Robin Hood now, he's a 12-year-old vegan natty. Yeah, that makes sense. Easy to hide behind a screen when you're a weak beta. Baphomet. Yes. Maybe it's one of those two. That's what you worship. No. Let's see. I think if I have the right to not give my blood and kidney for someone else to live. You do have that right. Refusing my body to sustain another. Women should have the right not to choose to sustain. I'm really not going to get into a fucking abortion argument on my page because it's a complex argument with a lot of nuance, and there is situations where an abortion will save the life of the mother. And you know, if you go to the Hippocratic oath that doctors take, or even the oaths that we took for service, you always save the life that you have over the life that could be, and you can make the argument, which one's more important? Well, if you don't have the fucking carrier, you're not going to have the other one anyway. That being said, I still think it's fucking murder, and I don't give a fuck what week it is, and you can take your satanic argument and shove it up your ass. Now, we can do another stream and talk about that, but I'm not doing that here. What do I think about the Jews? I don't know. Nothing. See, here's another thing is like a lot of Americans or people in general, they conflict Jewish religion with Israelites or people of the Semite origin. Not all Israelites are Jews, and not all Jews are Israelites. Just like same thing with Islam. It's a religion. I could be a Muslim, but am I a fucking Middle Easterner? Same thing with the Jewish religion. So you can't really sum up Jews. I feel like we are forced to accept Jews because of the Bible. Force fed to accept. Well, my question is, what do you have against them? I don't know. Historically, they've been pretty oppressed. Even by God. I mean, God let them wander in the desert for how many years? I don't have hatred in my heart for anybody except for the fucking asshole who lied to get me fired and the fucking bitch who lied to get me arrested. Outside of those two people, I love everybody. I don't care what religion you are. Yeah, I treat you the way you treat me. Hey, I have a question. What do you got, Ryan? Uh, Adopting is so cool. My entire family, all my sisters were adopted. Do it bounce. Hell yeah, especially if you pay it. I'm an atheist. I mean, cool. Everybody's got their beliefs. Yeah, the problem with atheism is the one thing I don't like about atheists is one thing to not believe in God or to be agnostic, but to be arrogant enough to say, and what an atheist is that I'm arrogant enough to say that there is no God, and all life proceeds from nothing, means nothing, and goes nowhere. And it's like, that's an arrogant stance. And then they're also adamant about other people not sharing their faith. Because like the atheists, I got Christmas shut down in our state of Illinois. I made to change it to holidays. It's like, well, if you don't believe in God, you don't give a fuck. What do you care what other people do? That shit I fucking hate. I don't care what your beliefs are, and I respect your beliefs, whatever they are. But don't put your shit on me, and I don't have to take your fucking cause up. I mean, that seems reasonable. What about the Bolsheviks? Well, that's what I did the majority of my studies on. The 1917 revolution. I'm not a fan of collectivism. I would say, what's a good word for something that you can't be more against? Like vehemently against? I'm vehemently against collectivism, communism, socialism. Like, can I be any more against something than that? Whose dirty diary are we reading? 22 or 23 gauge. How the fuck do we get on that anyways? No, I can't say all the Bolsheviks were bad people, but I can tell you that Lenin and Stalin were. All right. Should I put a belt on for this? All right, this is the most I've attempted to deadlift since surgery. Let's see how it goes. If my bicep hurts even a little bit, I'm just going to drop the weight. There's people that do those lifting videos like, I did 405 deadlifts. Like, what? Okay. I did mine without underwear. Oh, yeah, baby. It's like 435 or 440. It's a 65 to 70 pound barbell. Oh, I could have kept going too. Although I'm starting to see little spots in my head. Thank you, baby. Oh. I like the conversation. 3 seats in the house. The majority left doesn't. Belief socialism. God, what the fuck is good about it? So first of all, I have yet to meet anybody who espouses communism as a fix for capitalism. They don't know, one, a fucking thing about either of them. Two, they haven't read history. Three, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Communism, by definition, sounds nice, and it sounds like a bunch of fucking hippies. You could probably have communism work in a society of about 150 or less people. Probably be great. Still wouldn't want to live there. Now, capitalism, as in free market, is not what this country is. First of all, the United States is more socialist than most socialist countries, and we don't have free market capitalism. We have more of a the government and big businesses, they dictate who we get to buy products from, and it's very much curated. So we have the illusion of capitalism. You're free to buy whatever you want as long as you buy it from them. Here's your menu. People that have innovated over the years are either bought out or mysteriously disappear under interesting circumstances. Pol Pot. So Pol Pot, he fucking murdered a third of his citizens. And they're all people with education or competence. Anybody who was competent or educated got murdered. So now you have 75% of the country is just a bunch of retards stealing from each other. I don't fucking know. How could it go wrong? You get Stalin. It's like when they decided they were going to, either murder or exile all the kulaks because they were landowning farmers. Oh, they're the rich. Yeah, maybe you have a cow or two. What happens? They get rid of all the farmers and then wonder why they're fucking starving because they can't grow crops. Great idea. And in China, they were so afraid of lying to Mao that they would lie about the amount of food they were producing. And when it came time to pay up, they had to get rid of the food they needed to eat. So, I don't know. They estimate I would say 45 million people. And they're like, that's a lie. It's only 20 million. Well, isn't so 20 million's a good number? Oh, that's acceptable. Your fucking argument's retarded. And then people argue against Christianity. Well, what about the Crusades? The amount of people that were murdered by the Christian Church, Catholic Church, are not even a percentage of the people that have been killed by communism, dipshit. You see, these people that espouse this stuff don't know history. They don't know their own arguments. They're ill-informed or misinformed. And it's weaponized ignorance because they're adamant about what they believe. They can't have their opinion changed. I'll tell you this. Pinochet had it right about one thing. Yeah, he might have been a military dictatorship, maybe a little fascist, but his way of handling communists, I kind of endorse. Chuck him out of a helicopter at about 4,000 feet above the ocean. Mussolini. I have a copy of the Encyclopedia Italiana, and his definition of fascism is something that all of these Antifa motherfuckers should probably read, if they can read. They don't seem very smart to me. You're a Marine. God damn right I am. Hoorah! Who said the Catholic Church is a representation of free market capitalism? Uncle Trey me, I want to hit a 315 bench. Hit me up on Instagram, we'll talk about it. You fucking righted, yeah. I want to see how far I can get at the age of 51 on nothing but trenbolone and ice cream. Go to Gentel I Dashi on Insta. I doubt I would register with him. But people are like, you're not natural. I'm 51 years old, dipshit. Of course I'm not natural. But I'm also not on that much either. You know what's funny is I took 2 months off of training, and I just started training again. So I was on nothing but doctor prescribed TRT the whole time. I didn't do it. Wasn't working out. And I look like this. How many Hodges have you popped? Well, I was in artillery, so let's change the subject. Yeah, I had bicep surgery. You can see the popped off the bone, so they reattached it. Now I'm deformed. I'm hideous. Nick, man, dude, gotta try harder than that, bro. It's not funny. It's lame. Like when I was at church and they had the prayer list and the priest would read it off, I wrote like Salami Patel and Jack Mahagoff, and he would read it and be like, all the kids are giggling. Like, bro, everybody can read that and see what a moron you are. Did you read my 5 comments before the stream started? Yes, I did. The helicopter treatment was done by the Argentine military junta. Yeah, and to be fair, George? Are you one of those? Well, actually, like actually, I don't. I'm not endorsing Pinochet. I was trying to be funny. Where are you from? Originally Chicago, Illinois. Now I live in Las Vegas. What do you think, babe? Should I do one more set of deadlifts? Or should I call it a night? I don't want to overdo it. What's wrong with Vegas? Vegas is an awesome state, smart gamer. I think we don't really do politics in Vegas. I'll be honest with you. Politics is run by the casinos. Do you have any issues with trends? No, I don't take trend, Jimmy. That was a joke. If you try, no, nobody over the age of 40 should be taking anabolics like that. I know most people's idea of what steroids are is retarded, so I just make jokes to keep at their level. Like, they don't understand that there's like a million compounds that do a million things, and you can take like the smallest efficacious amount and still look jacked as fuck. They think anybody that looks better than they do is on enough drugs to, grow an elephant. So I just put my humor at that level. Is it easy to get TRT? Yes. If you go to I go to Helix HRT. If you have low testosterone, yes. Now there's clinics that are actually interested in your health, and there's clinics that are interested in getting you jacked and huge. Which one do you think I take? The rise of anti-intellectualism. That just the fact that word exists, and it should be hyphenated, son, tells me what I think about it. Like, we're weaponizing stupidity, to be honest with you. Like, I always tell people when I was on the debate team, we would have an argument assigned to us, and you don't know if you're arguing for or against it until the debate. They flip a coin, for or against. So what does that mean? You have to know both sides. Most people don't know what they believe in past the surface level, and most of them were told what they believe at the surface level. And the second you dig past the surface level just to see why do you believe what you believe, they take that as an attack and they start insulting you personally. Then you're talking to a fucking moron. But unfortunately, that moron has been weaponized by the government because he can vote. Great. Awesome. What are you gonna do? Is it expensive? It can be. Sometimes your insurance will pay for it. Let's see, if I didn't have insurance, it would have been $500 for my first visit and about $200 a month for the anabolics. Ben Shapiro. You know what? I used to find Ben interesting because he's a really good debater. But recently, he's lost he's lost some points in my book just because you always eventually show who you are. You really do. That's why I try to be just me. What you see is what you get. Smith machine's over there, and guess what? I cleaned it off too. Yeah, baby. I was going to use it tonight, but I think I'm going to do one more set of deadlifts and then I'm going to call it. I never heard a person laugh like Beavis and Butthead. George! We got a Gen Xer in the house making Beavis and Butthead jokes. It would be funny if more people had reference of that. But George, I'm also going to note that that's the same joke you used last time, so try to come up with something new. Okay? Thank you, buddy. You seal rose. Always been superior radios streaming. Kind of went to shit. Well, you know, he's one of the owners of The Wire, and they got kind of exposed for not really. So when you sign a contract, you're also responsible because you're signing it. So you can't really say, like, if you've done your due diligence and you read a contract and you agree with it and you sign it, I don't want to hear you fucking bitch about it when they hold you to those terms. That being said, their contracts, man, were shit. Like, they were obviously taking advantage of their talent. And what tends to happen is, you know, the first time you have an opportunity to really get yourself out there, of course you're going to take it. But then once you realize your worth and what you could be getting, now you're in a bit of a pickle when you try to break that contract and they play dirty ball. You know, that's like, don't sign anything unless you're 100% certain. Candace Owens seems to have lost her mind. I like her. I mean, I've always liked her, but lately she's been saying some stuff where I'm like, huh. Like, I'm not that conservative. I find him entertaining, though. Thank you, any absent Jarl. Hell yeah. So, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should do this. I mean, the last 4 or 5 felt fine. I guess I could try it out. I just, because of my arm surgery, I can't accelerate through the lift. Yeah, that one was hanging on my flagpole outside and the wind tore it up. My son's supposed to burn it at a Boy Scout flag burning ceremony. Well, they call it the Scouts now. And they lost me when I found out their troop leader was a woman. Not only was she a woman, but she had a giant mattress ass, or a rhino hiney. It looked like she couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. That's not the Scouts I remember. I was never in the Scouts either. I honestly never liked them. I always thought they were a bunch of pompous assholes. And I've heard a lot of pedophilia stories with them. Don't know if they're true. Heard some things. Alright, come on. Oh man, I'm fucking scared to do it. I know I'm strong enough to lift this. I'm just scared because my arm. I had surgery. Okay. So I had surgery in March. Fuck it, man. Don't be a pussy. You gotta get through this. Just lock the arms. Ow! Fucking, I forgot how to bad the knurling is on that thing. Whew, I got little bitch hands. I haven't been lifting regularly. My soft little bitch mittens. Whew, that wasn't bad. No issues. Yeah. Okay. That wasn't max hold. That's why I stopped lifting. I could have done more reps. My hands were starting to hurt. It's. I have the grip strength. That knurling is. So you got to build calluses up. That fucking knurling will rip your fucking hands apart. What's nice about it is it's really easy to hold that heavy weight. What sucks about it is it hurts. Like I have a Texas deadlift bar and it's not painful, but that thing hurts like hell. I don't know how you would use. I don't know how you would use straps on a trap bar, but I use straps. They have their place. I'm not. I'm not going to tell you not to use gloves, but well, don't use gloves. Do you play the banjo? Oh, I thought you were asking me that. I'm like, you live with me. All right, kids, I'm gonna get the fuck off. It's 9:13. I will see you out on the battlefield. How did I make 3 streams tonight because I couldn't get internet. Let's do this. Hey, Prophet, I'm gonna use the Smith machine. My next stream. All right, love you guys.